In this topic, we will be discussing one step of the stages of internationalization model, and that step is the sales subsidiary step. And we will be looking at how a sales subsidiary operates, what type of structure is formed in a sales subsidiary which goes into the international business. In this diagram, you can see that there is the corporate executive, and under that corporate executive, there are departments of the organization. There is finance department, logistic department, production department, marketing and sales department. And now you can see that the department of exports that is added in the organizational structure. In the previous structure of the export department, you remember that the sales came under the foreign sales came under the marketing and sales department. Now you can see that one department of exports is added in this particular step. And then there is the human resources department, and human resources department is again having both the function of controlling the human resource of the parent country and controlling the human resource of the sales subsidiary. So you can see in this diagram that under the exports department, there are two heads. Number one is direct exports, and number two is the sales subsidiary. So it is possible that in an organization, you are selling your products through directly exporting your product to a foreign country, and you have established a sales subsidiary in another foreign country. So if you have both those functions operating in your organization, then you will have this type of structure. If you are not going for direct exports, you are establishing sales subsidiaries throughout the foreign operations, then direct exports department will not be operating. So sales subsidiary will be working under your exports department. Why do you go for establishing a sales subsidiary in your foreign operations? आप एक्सपोर्ट से ही काम क्यों नहीं चला लेते? उसकी वजह यह है कि जब आप एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, उसमें आपके लिए फॉरेन एजेंट्स काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. कोऑर्डिनेशन के प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकते हैं, आपको उनके कल्चरल प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकते हैं. जो फॉरेन एजेंट्स हैं वो दे माइट बी चार्जिंग वेरी हैवी कमीशंस, दे माइट नॉट बी टेलिंग यू द एग्जैक्ट सिचुएशन ऑफ द मार्केट. You cannot trust the foreign agents because they are not the part of your organization. They are not your employees. They are your selling agents. So the problems which are faced by the foreign agents force you to establish your international functions in the form of a sales subsidiary. Then you go for a sales subsidiary because you become more confident that, okay, your product is selling very well in a foreign market. So rather than exporting your product, it's better that you establish a sales subsidiary in the foreign market that would enhance your sales and that would enhance your image in that foreign country. You also want to have a greater control over your foreign operations. So अगर आप अपना ही डिपार्टमेंट फॉरेन कंट्री में एस्टैब्लिश कर लेते हैं, तो जो फॉरेन कंट्री में ऑपरेशंस हो रहे हैं, सेल्स हो रही हैं, कस्टमर्स के साथ नेटवर्किंग हो रही है, वो सब चीज़ें आपके डायरेक्ट कंट्रोल में आ जाती हैं. जब आप एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं तो ये सब चीज़ें आपके फॉरेन एजेंट के कंट्रोल में होती हैं. जब आप वहाँ पे एस्टैब्लिश कर लेते हैं तो आपके कंट्रोल में आ जाती हैं. सो यू हैव मोर कंट्रोल ओवर all the functions of an organization in that sales subsidiary department. And then you may decide to give greater support to the export activity because you find that the export department is, or the exports function is much more profitable, and therefore you want to make it more highlighted in the functions of your organization. So these are the reasons why you go for establishing a sales subsidiary in the international context. The HR issues which are related with sales subsidiary management are that, number one, you have a need for control and coordination. Now, if you have people who are operating in a foreign country, आपने एक अपनी sales subsidiary open कर ली है, वहाँ पे obviously आपने human resources को hire करना है, आपने उनको operations को allocate करना है, तो अब आपको coordinate करने की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत पेश आएगी. Then you have staffing needs, and staffing needs में you can go for two possibilities. You can go for an ethnocentric approach in which you hire your parent country nationals, PCNs, for that export function, for that sales subsidiary function. तो आप अपने मुल्क के लोग sales subsidiary में भिजवा के तो आप उनको सारे functions assign करते हैं. And then there is country specific approach in which knowledge of the foreign markets is very much important. So obviously PCNs will not have the knowledge of foreign markets. You need to hire host country nationals जो कि उस मुल्क के अपने मुल्क से belong करते हैं, उन लोगों को आपको hire करना पड़ेगा. So that is country specific approach. जहाँ पे आप ethnocentric approach रखते हैं वहाँ पे आप PCNs को अपॉइंट करेंगे. जहाँ आप country specific approach रखते हैं वहाँ पर आप HCNs को अपॉइंट करेंगे. Actual example से पता ये लगता है कि ज़्यादातर organizations ये कोशिश करती हैं कि वो maximum PCNs को यानी कि parent country nationals को अपॉइंट करें, because वो उनको ज़्यादा ट्रस्ट करते हैं, वो उनको ज़्यादा जानते हैं और वो अपने functions को delegate करने में confidence महसूस करते हैं. Now when you are appointing parent country nationals in a foreign country, you will have to go for the process of expatriate management. जब आप अपने मुल्क से अपनी पेरेंट कंट्री के लोगों को फॉरेन कंट्री में बाहर भिजवा रहे हैं काम करने के लिए, तो आपको उनकी एक्सपेट्रिएट मैनेजमेंट के फंक्शंस से गुजरना पड़ेगा और आपको ये समझना पड़ेगा कि एक्सपेट्रिएट मैनेजमेंट के क्या इश्यूज होते हैं, उनसे आपको किस तरह से डील करना है और आपने अपनी पेरेंट कंट्री नेशनल्स को किस तरह फॉरेन कंट्री में एडजस्ट करवाना है. So expatriate management is a function which will be added when you send your parent country nationals to foreign countries to manage your sales subsidiary.